Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to KevinandFred.com. He's Kevin, I'm Fred. We're wrapping up our little mini-series here this week on if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. And so Monday we focused a lot on limitations, gave some examples from a teaching I had done at church earlier in the week. Wednesday, we talked about how we see ourselves and who we surround ourselves, how important that is to breaking through our limitations. And today, we want to actually give you a tool, so a little tool we call fact meaning, to absolutely be the tool that helps you break through.
Yeah, so fact meaning, it's exactly what it sounds like, fact and meaning. And, let's take an event, or let's just take anything. As an example, let's take you and I were just talking about this, the Bank of America announcement, 2 weeks ago, about improving their short sale process.
Yeah, Bank of America came out and said, we're going to improve our short sale process. We're going to clean up some of the equator workflow. It's an improved process. That was their fact statement.
We're going to improve the short sales in what did they say, 20 or 21 days?
I got to be honest, I didn't read that far. But the statement is they came out and said, we're going to improve it.
So there's a fact there, and the fact is that Bank of America made a statement around their short sale process. We're going to clean it up. We're gonna shorten the time frames, and our goal is to have short sales approved in 20 or 21 days. That's the fact. Now, what does that mean? So there's I've heard a lot of different meanings from people.
Yeah.
I've heard from some people that it means that Bank of America cares more about their customers and homeowners than any other bank out there.
Correct.
I've heard that meaning.
I've heard other people put the meaning on it that it's about time that Equator told Bank of America to clean up their act and fix their process flow.
I've heard that meaning as well. The other meaning I've heard out there is that this is just more quote-unquote front page news. This is just stuff out there in the media to hype up people, to make people think that they actually care, when in regards they don't, and they're not really trying to help people. I've heard that meaning too.
Well, and so what's really interesting about the fact meaning conversation is that all day long there are facts. There are things going on in our society that we can go, that's a fact. And what's interesting is that we all put different meanings on them. In fact, our very good friend passed away just over a year ago, Brian Clemmer. I'll never forget, one of the last times I heard him speak was actually out in Goodyear, Avondale. You and I both attended that about maybe 2-3 years ago now. And he does this fact meaning exercise a lot. And he breaks it down to a personal level for you, is that, how many times in your life has something happened to you, an event has happened to you, whether it's a very close family member or one of your parents passed away when you were younger, one of your parents left you when you were younger, you had something happen to you, an abuse. It doesn't matter what the fact is, but the point remains that something has happened to you in your life. And it's interesting to see the different meanings that people put on it.
Right.
When their father leaves them as a young child, some people will put on it, let's just use an example of a young girl whose father leaves her. She will grow up at some point in some situations with a meaning that men are not trustworthy.
All men leave.
All men will leave you at one time. And whether or not the little girl wants to think that or not, she grows up with her mother or whoever else in her family telling her those stories. Right? And it's just so interesting. Now, we're not saying anything bad about the girl, or we're not saying anything bad about the dad or the mom. The point is that those are facts. We see those things happen in our society day after day after day. But Brian Clemmer will argue, if we're going to make up the meaning anyway, oh, did you catch that?
We're going to make up.
We're making up the meaning. Okay,
we make up the meanings to every interaction in our life.
Every single people have a meaning right now on what it means that we just actually brought in a biblical teaching onto KevinandFred.com this week.
Yeah.
People have already put a meaning on that.
Yeah.
Some haven't come back because they think we're now freaks and we got crazy right wing on them or something. Some of you are really excited and you're like, I've been waiting for the Bible thumping to happen, and some of you could care less and you're indifferent. But the point is that everybody has a meaning, but we make up the meanings. Facts are just facts. Events happen, things take place. There are absolutely facts in our world. We make up the meaning. So the question then becomes, why not make up a better meaning?
Yeah, why not tell yourself a better story?
Why not make up a story that actually supports you and moves you forward in your life? If you're making it up anyway, why not tell one that supports you?
Dude, it's that simple. It literally is that simple. But people, we tend to go, oh, well, this happened, and so we go towards a negative meaning instead of, why not? You made that up. You made up the meaning of every single interaction all day long that you ever had. You make up the meaning, whatever it means to you, however something makes you feel. You make up that feeling. You make up that meaning to yourself. why not change that story? Change it to something that supports you. Change it to something that feels better. Change it to something that doesn't mean that you're a bad person or whatever meaning you're giving yourself. Make it positive.
Yeah, we're not saying that you shouldn't acknowledge feelings and things that go on in your life and that you're not allowed to have a bad day.
Right.
You're not allowed to vent. It's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is that if you continue to reaffirm those negative connotations, then they turn into limitations. And then guess what happens? Then you start arguing for them. And when you start arguing for them, you get to keep them. So consider going out there today, finding some fact that goes on in your life, being aware and attentive to some attitude or belief that you put on that fact that maybe doesn't support you at its highest and best level, and choose to put a different meaning on it and see how your life changes. See how that one event now propels and moves you forward rather than holds you back.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. Hope you enjoyed a little different flavor here on kevinfred.com this week. We hope you walk away and put a good meaning on it, but even if you don't, we've already put a good meaning on the fact that you'll never come back, so we're okay. We'll see you later. See you next week. Have a good one.